3 years after my vasectomy, my wife got pregnant. The DNA test, that's when everything shattered. 3 years after my vasectomy, my wife became pregnant. Shocked, I got tested and confirmed I'm still sterile. A DNA test on our daughter revealed she's not biologically mine. Devastated, I decided to end our marriage. We were college sweethearts for 2 years, tying the knot the fall after graduation. Those years were spent building our connection, eventually settling down to start a family. When my wife discontinued her birth control, her desire surged, but it took 3 years for her to conceive our beloved daughter. Months later, she resumed birth control, struggling with side effects as her doctor adjusted prescriptions. Uncertain about having more children, we opted for a vasectomy, knowing it could be reversed if needed, so I underwent the procedure 3 years ago. After stopping birth control, she felt revitalized, and our intimate life became spontaneous, free from pregnancy worries. Our closeness rivaled our college days. 3 weeks ago, her period was late, which wasn't uncommon. Then I noticed her tender breasts and nausea, symptoms mimicking morning sickness. Aware that vasectomies can rarely fail, I got a sperm count test, which confirmed my infertility. I kept this from her. When her doctor confirmed the pregnancy, she insisted I get tested. Overwhelmed, I felt physically unwell, delaying the visit as I grappled with troubling thoughts. I retested and had our daughter's DNA tested. Today's results shattered me. I'm sterile and our daughter isn't mine. When my wife returned home, I showed her the sterility results. She denied infidelity, blaming test errors. I shared the DNA results from last week, and she collapsed in tears. After probing, she confessed to a one-night affair, suggesting a condom failure. I made her repeat the story 3 times, each time asking if she was fully truthful, warning that another lie would end us. She insisted it was a one-time mistake and swore she'd never strayed before. I poured out my pain, asking how she could destroy our family and if it was worth it. When I asked if she wanted a divorce, she pleaded for forgiveness to rebuild. I said I couldn't raise another man's child and asked if she'd consider terminating the pregnancy to save our marriage. She wept all night, but before bed, promised to do anything to keep us together. I didn't mention the DNA test results for our daughter. Next week, I'll consult a lawyer about child support for our first child. Had she admitted our daughter's paternity, I might have considered forgiveness, but her silence, believing she'd gone undetected, makes me question what else she's hiding. Update. My lawyer was exceptional. I brought bank statements, medical records, DNA results, and explained my situation. Her assistant took notes as she reviewed the documents. She outlined my options, highlighting the benefits and drawbacks of our at-fault state. It offers leverage in negotiations, but involves a longer, costlier process. For our first child, if my wife signs the necessary documents, I can avoid child support easily. If she resists, a court-ordered DNA test and ruling can release me, though it's more expensive. Her income, similar to mine, makes alimony unlikely. Property division and other matters can be resolved pre-trial due to holiday delays. Papers won't be ready before Christmas, but will be by year's end. My lawyer advised me to stay silent until my wife is served, and gave me tasks for before and after the holidays. She noted that since we were trying for a child, my wife might not have known our daughter wasn't mine. Update 1. I met my sister at our house to move my belongings to her place during the divorce, or until my soon-to-be ex-wife, SDBXW, moves out, allowing me to reclaim the house. We transported 4 carloads and returned for more. My sister stayed for support and as a witness. I repositioned the nanny cam to the living room, recording to the cloud. At 10:45 a.m., my lawyer texted that my wife was served. I emailed her, stating I'd be home when she was ready to talk. She texted, asking why, and sent messages about working things out, assuming we'd discuss before divorcing, saying it would harm our daughter and families. She claimed she felt betrayed, ironic given her actions. Her location sharing showed she left work after 20 minutes, stopping briefly at a Walgreens. Police car followed her into our driveway. She'd called them, citing concerns about guns in the house. I showed officers my empty gun safe, explaining the firearms were secured elsewhere. In the living room, I presented the paternity test proving our daughter isn't mine. Her denial seemed genuine, followed by 10 minutes of sobbing. I called it the final betrayal, justifying the divorce. The officers, urging calmness, left after I said I'd head to my sister's soon. When asked about the child's father, she claimed she didn't know. I asked if she'd been with so many men she couldn't remember or didn't know his name. She admitted to 2 affairs. I reminded her I'd warned that lies would end us and that I wouldn't raise another's child. I told her to find the father as I wouldn't support someone else's baby. She asked what we'd tell our daughter. I said it was her problem to solve. Last week, I drafted emails. One for friends and family with test results and divorce reasons. Another for my wife with the same details and prior statements. My lawyer approved them after revisions. I sent them to our circle as she arrived home. Responses were overwhelmingly supportive and vivid. I told her honesty might have salvaged us, but I couldn't trust a habitual liar. I remarked that if she'd gotten her tubes tied instead of my vasectomy, she might have gotten away with it. I urged her to get a lawyer to move forward, and he'll update too. At our second lawyer meeting, we resolved most terms except the house, pending appraisal. Motions were filed, including a court-ordered paternity test for the three of us. With minimal resistance from my SDBXW, we filed for a no-fault divorce. If all proceeds smoothly, I'll reclaim the house by February 15, and the divorce will finalize by April 5. Lawyers minimized our interactions. My wife appeared pale and subdued, possibly from sleeplessness or medication. She gazed out the window as papers were read, and signed leaving felt like lifting a tremendous weight. HR arranged therapy for tomorrow. My boss left champagne on my desk and offered time off, but I'm eager to return to work responses to comments. Commenter: did she reveal more about her cheating or the child's father? OOP: she named the biological father, but I doubt her honesty. She hasn't contacted him, which seems evasive. It's no longer my concern. Commenter: did you know the bio dad? Was he in your friend group? Details on the first meeting. OOP: I met him once or twice, not a friend. The first meeting was my lawyer setting terms and plans if she contested. Commenter: how are you? Any updates? OOP: my ex received her house equity and moved to an apartment. I move back tomorrow. The court DNA test confirmed I'm not the father, and the judge terminated my parental rights and obligations. The divorce finalizes in April, but I'm essentially free. I contact my ex only through lawyers. I blocked her and some family friends. She wants to talk post-divorce, but my lawyer advises waiting. I've dined with the affair partner's wife, updating each other on our exes. She got him fired and is prolonging their divorce for maximum impact. Commenter: how'd she get the affair partner fired? Was he in her family's business? OOP: he worked for her family's company. She informed her dad and uncle, who fired him immediately, taking his laptop, phone, card, and car, escorting him out in 15 minutes. Commenter: you've dined with her twice. Do you like her? Could something develop? OOP: we're allies, sharing details of our ex's betrayal. We estimate a 6-week affair with 3 meetups. The extent of intimacy is unclear. Update 3. During and after my divorce, I grew close with Sharon, the other betrayed spouse, sharing details of our ex's affair and supporting each other while monitoring their fallout. We talked by phone and dined monthly. Last month, Sharon invited me as her +1 to a friend's wedding where her ex, Stan, was a guest. It was for support and to annoy Stan. We'd share a room with separate beds, strictly platonic. Intrigued, I agreed. We arrived the day before, dining with Sharon's friends, introduced as her friend, omitting our divorce history. We saw Stan before the ceremony, seated apart. He was visibly irritated, which Sharon pointed out. At the reception, we danced, drank heavily, and enjoyed her friends. Stan, across the room, stared angrily. A brief confrontation between Stan and Sharon was calmed by her friends. At the hotel bar, others commented on Stan's jealousy and called us a cute couple. We laughed, insisting we were just friends. After drinks, I helped Sharon to our room. In a cramped elevator, we stood close, and in a heated moment, we kissed. Alcohol clouded our judgment, and we slept together the next morning. We avoided the topic, hurrying to catch our flight. We saw Stan at checkout, and he made a snide comment. On the plane, we discussed the night, feeling no regret but questioning the timing. We'll talk more at dinner next week. Neither of us has dated since our divorces. I haven't been ready. I'll address this in therapy soon. The wedding was memorable despite the complexity. Next story: I'm 15 weeks pregnant, and my husband gets 4 weeks of paid paternity leave, but only wants to take 1 to avoid losing income. Frustrated, I said I'd rather manage alone, but he accused me of calling him a deadbeat. I'm 23, he's 25, and we're organizing appointments and schedules until the year's end, with our baby due in November. I get no paid maternity leave, but he gets 4 weeks paid. I'm saving for 3 weeks off after birth, working from home. I expected his support during recovery and a 1-week work transition. He offered 1 week, possibly 2, citing a $2,000 loss for 2 weeks. For context, we've been together 5 years, married since May. We had issues before the pregnancy, which was unplanned. I have health challenges plus severe morning sickness, resulting in 4 ER visits. He's a construction plumber, paid per project, but earns $15 an hour on slow days, applicable during leave. We have 3 large dogs. I manage 80% of their care, including vet visits and grooming. His response made me cry, realizing I'd mostly parent alone. I knew his job's demands would limit help after he returns. I told him to take only the birthday off, as 1 week felt insufficient and I'd manage alone. I've researched care services for the baby and dogs as our parents work, and we have no nearby family. I feel guilty because he got upset, saying I'm labeling him a deadbeat before the baby's born. I can't find if 1 week is enough, and I'm emotionally overwhelmed. Please offer perspective. I'm confused. Update. Clarifications. We used protection, so the baby was a surprise. In Florida, maternity leave isn't mandatory. I could have used FMLA, but without my employer's insurance, it's unavailable. I posted for first child perspectives. We planned kids later. I'm monitored by my OB/GYN and cardiologist. Update. Abortion questions came up, but it's not for me. I'm attached to the baby. I showed my husband the post, sparking difficult but transformative discussions. We started individual and couples therapy. My job granted 6 weeks of paid maternity leave. His offered 2 weeks off, a baby bonus, and a year-end bonus. My pregnancy was grueling. 7 hospital visits for severe morning sickness, bi-weekly IVs, anemia, and PUPPPs in summer. I went on bed rest in October, delivering in November via C-section after 36 hours of labor due to the baby's heart rate dropping. The C-section was traumatic. I felt cutting and burning despite anesthesia. Her cry brought relief. The first 2 weeks were perfect. My husband was incredible, handling everything and excelling at night duties. I felt deeply loved. 7 months in, life's beautiful. I work from home with her nearby. She's vibrant, crawling, standing with 4 teeth, nearly saying mama. I adore her. She came at the perfect time. Despite past struggles, she's my purpose. If this story moved you, please give it a like, share it with others, and follow for more real-life stories and heartfelt experiences. Your support means everything, and it helps us share more stories like this. Thank you for reading, and I'll see you in the next one.